happy Friday. Hope you've had a great week. Thank you to those of you who took the time to watch my Homebot tutorial for homeowners a couple weeks ago. I really appreciate it and had a few people subscribe. If you did not get a chance to check this video out, I'd love for you to take the time to do it. It's on my Facebook page. You can also subscribe still if you haven't gotten if you did watch the video and you haven't gotten the chance to subscribe. All you have to do is go to www.valueisprime.com and enter your information, and it'll subscribe you automatically. So thanks to you who did that. Today, as promised, I am going to do a short little tutorial on how you can use Homebot as a buyer or a future homeowner. So if you are currently an owner and you're thinking about selling your house and buying in the same neighborhood or possibly in a new neighborhood, this is a great tool for you. If you're a first-time home buyer, you're curious about the market in different neighborhoods, this is great for you. Or if you're possibly new to the Denver area or thinking about moving to the Denver area, this is great for you as well because you can kind of explore the markets before coming out here. You can do your research. So this is how it works. Basically, you enter your first and last name, an email address, and a zip code that you're interested in to get started, and then you'll get a monthly digest based on that zip code. So this is what it looks like when you preview it. So you can start out with a price point. The price point I have in here to start is $600,000. You can change this at any point. Whether you actually know your price point or from meeting with a lender, or you've done some research to see what you can afford, you can change this at any point. I do like this because even if you haven't talked to a lender, I know a lot of people get nervous when they think about buying. They don't want to talk to a lender until they're really serious, which I totally understand. The cool thing is you can actually use this calculator. You can put in your annual household income, the monthly debt that you pay, a potential down payment, and the loan term, and it'll give you an idea of what you could afford monthly. Like I said, this is just an estimate. You would really need to talk to a lender to get an actual idea, but it's kind of a cool way to see what price point you can afford. So anyway, you start out with your price point, $600,000. Scroll down here, it's going to tell you January 2019, how do your favorite markets stack up? So whether it's a buyer's market or a seller's market. So it's going to color code the markets based on that, just to give you a better idea. So to start, I added 4 different zip codes to mine. You can add as many or as little as you like. When I first started, I added 80212, which is one of my favorite zip codes in Denver. It'll show you what neighborhoods are included within that zip code. This right here is your market temperature. So it shows that is definitely at the higher end of a seller's market, meaning that it's going to be more competitive in that neighborhood. It's probably in a cooler area, close to restaurants, stores, bars. And if you were to go to put an offer on a house in this area, if it is a seller's market, they have the control. So you might have a multiple offer situation. You might be paying, top dollar or over, what you're comfortable with. And then if anything is in the buyer's market, that would mean that you're kind of in control. You can maybe go in a little bit under asking depending on how long it's been on the market, or you can go in at asking. You definitely have a lot more power, maybe less of a multiple offer situation. So obviously it's different for every neighborhood, but I'm going to dig into this zip code and just show you how it works. So it's showing me it's a seller's market right now. The average buying timeline is around 87 days. The square foot I can afford in that neighborhood is 2,072 square feet, and the average price in that neighborhood is $521,000. So if I click view, it's going to open it. It's going to show you the boundaries of this specific zip code, and then it's going to show you, once again, the score in 85. It's pink, so it's a seller's market. It's going to show you a graph of how it's changed throughout the year. Average time on the market right now, 91 days at this price point, and current inventory, 10. House size, average beds, average baths, and average square footage. If you scroll down, average price, $521, average price per square foot, $290, and then this is like I said on the last slide, this is my favorite part because it can tell you for $600,000, if that's what you're wanting to spend, that's your price point. In this specific zip code, you can afford around 2,000 square feet of a home. So if you're one of those people that kind of knows what square footage you need in order for you and your family to be happy, this can tell you, can I even consider buying in this neighborhood? Then the buying timeline, 87 days. This breaks it down for you. So it's saying it takes about 3 days to prepare, to pre-qualify, meet with a lender, get started on it, meet with your agent. Here is search and bid. an estimated of 49 days in this zip code to find the house, whether, you're just searching or offering on these homes. And this is all different depending on, if you find your first home and you get it on your first try, or, kind of how often you're looking, but it just gives you an estimate. And then a 35-day close. That's the typical close. I work with many lenders who can close in as little as 14 days or sooner. So this is all just an estimate, but it gives you an idea based on the neighborhood. And then you can actually ask a question down here. So if I go back, like I said, I have 4 market zip codes in mine. You can add a market here, any zip code that you want. You can add as many or as little. If I'm curious, if I don't know, maybe a lot about the Denver area, or I really just want to see a general overview, I can click Explore More Markets. And this is going to give me an overview of the entire Denver metro area and surrounding areas. So I can scroll out and I can see the market temperature in all of these different neighborhoods and zip codes. So it shows you, obviously, that the Denver metro area and surrounding areas are really a seller's market overall. They'll just give you different scores. And then it'll show you, obviously, the further out you get, kind of a little bit less competitive neighborhoods and zip codes. So if I was, curious about, say, this one, I scroll, put my mouse over it, and it'll tell me this is the Park Hill, East Colfax, North City Park, and Stapleton neighborhood, 80207. I can click on it, and it'll bring me to the overview, just like I showed you before. Then if you go back, this right here is going to show you popular markets from most popular down to least popular. So you can go through and you can actually automatically add them to your thing from here, or you can click on it and it'll do the breakdown like I've showed you before. If you click on bigger house, it's going to show you the square footage that you can afford based on your price point in all of these different neighborhoods. So from the largest home that you could afford, that would be, you'd need to buy in this neighborhood, down to the least. And then I'll show you the overview over here, so that's kind of cool. Then cheaper buys, it's going to show you the cheapest price point and up. So it's going to go from smallest to largest price point. And then fastest move, this is going to give you an idea of the buying timeline based on these different zip codes. Like I said, this is different for every person in every neighborhood, but it'll just kind of give you a general idea. Like if you need to move super quick, you might want to consider, purchasing in a neighborhood like this. So anyway, that gives you a better idea, and I can obviously give you a better idea of that as well because I work within a lot of these markets, but it's a general overview. So then if you go back, here is kind of a cool section. You can actually ask me any question that you might have. I can answer it. It'll send me a message and I can, respond to you. Here you can put in how long could it take to buy, put your zip code in. You can either do a custom date as soon as possible or when my lease is up, and then it'll give you kind of an idea of your timeline. Again, you can ask me that because I'm going to have a better idea of that. Then you can go in here and you can kind of see at your current price point and the current interest rate, what you can afford. So, it might change. Like if the interest rates go up, for example, if the interest rates were 4.75, you could only afford $592,000. Then when the interest rates go down a little bit, you can actually afford more. So obviously if interest rates go up, your buying power does go down a little bit. You can afford a little bit less. That's why, buying now is actually still a really great time to buy. Interest rates are still at a historical low. So if you're thinking about buying, it's a really good time to buy before they potentially go up. And then you can actually, see the trends here as well, which is really nice. And then this is my favorite part of this, and I use this all the time because I'm looking for an investment property. So whether you're looking for an investment property or you're just seeing if maybe at some point your home, you could rent out on Airbnb on the weekends when you're not around, you would just put in the address, and we'll try this one, for example, but it'll tell you what you can afford with Airbnb. So it'll show you based on this address, the trends, and then based on similar rentals nearby, if you made it a fancy rental, you could afford to, maybe rent it out for $129 a night, 7 nights a week, and you would make $13.15 a year, 15,786. I'm sorry, $13.15 over a month, 15,786 over the year. You can change the number of days if you want to rent it out 12 nights a week. Maybe it's not as nice as you think, so you're going to reduce the amount, or maybe you've really upgraded it and you're going to rent it out for more. Obviously, you have to be competitive in the neighborhood, so you can mess with those numbers and see. If you click on what else should I know, it talks about kind of how to make Airbnb happen for you. So it just kind of gives you the rules around Airbnb, because there are some restrictions in different neighborhoods in Denver. And then I work with a lender, Kelly, often, and she's awesome. If you ever have any questions, you can actually you can actually send her a message and ask her questions like, can I rent my home on Airbnb? How can I optimize my home for renting? Or you can ask her any other lending questions. And then if you scroll down, here is my information. So if you are interested in subscribing, I am doing a little giveaway for anybody that subscribes as a buyer from now through the end of day Monday. If you subscribe as a buyer, I'm going to do a little drawing for a $25 giveaway. So anyone that subscribes, I'll put your name in a hat and I'll pull it and you'll win a $25 Amazon card. And I'll announce the winners for that on Tuesday. If you are a friend of mine on Facebook, I'm going to have rules on, or some guidelines on how to subscribe as a buyer, or as a seller. If you didn't get a chance to subscribe as a seller, I can actually, you'll also be entered into the drawing. So I'll kind of put guidelines on how to do that. If you're not a friend of mine on Facebook and you're interested in subscribing, here is my contact info right here. You can either shoot me a text or call me. You can send me an email. You can visit my website, which has my email on it. So basically, you can send me a message any of these ways. If you're to just click on this, it'll give you my phone number, obviously. But then if you click on this, you can email me from here. It's kind of a cool way to get in touch with me. So this is all I would need from you. If you were to do it this way, go ahead and send me a message. What I need from you is I actually just need your first and last name, email address, price point, and then where you're searching. So just one zip code, and then the other things. If you have a specific date that you're hoping to move, I could put that in there for you. Otherwise, I really just need first, last name, email address, price point, and one zip code. And then after that, that's pretty much it. So I'll enter the information for you. I'll send you your first digest, and then you'll get it on a monthly basis. You can unsubscribe at any point. You are not required to keep this, but I do think it's a great tool for you if you're interested in subscribing. Like I said, I'm doing the giveaway for a $25 Amazon gift card, and that will end Monday night. And you can either subscribe as a buyer, which I need to send, you need to send me that information to subscribe, or if you want to subscribe as a homeowner, based on the tutorial I did before, you would just go to www.valueisprime.com and enter your information. And I can actually enter homeowners twice. If you want to have it as a seller or homeowner and as a buyer, you can actually have 2 subscriptions. So thank you so much for those of you who took the time to watch this video. I really hope to see some of you subscribe. I can't wait to hear from you soon, and I hope you have a great weekend. Talk to you soon.